Welcome to the Friday Matinee here on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. I am T.
I'm George Cummings.
George, happy Friday.
Thank you. Why can't I hear myself?
I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of Friday, but I'm finding that I'm becoming a fan of Friday. I sort of like Fridays now.
Every now and then, yes.
Every now and then. One Friday hits me. And I try to act like I'm totally okay with, Monday, but I'm not as happy with Monday. But that's just, I don't know if my acting skills are working or not.
So, now I'm too loud. There we go. It's perfect. Sorry, I get all soundy. So, we have tread the boards a few times. I don't know if you've done film work. I know you've done film work. I've done some film work. When you got started, was it an easy? Well, you went to the fame of school, of course, of L.A. What was that called?
I went to the Hollywood Professional School. That was where I was when I was a teenager, and I studied with all the teachers there. I went to the Strasberg Institute. I was one of those wacky kids who my acting studies started when I was very young and still very dramatic.
But you also. I think there was a situation perhaps where you had the means to go to those types of places.
Yeah. Well, I was living in L.A.
Right.
I was going to high school, in Hollywood. And for where most kids walk home from high school and stop at Dairy Queen or whatever, I was going to dance and I was going to, that's what we did.
But in the situation there, it was kind of in my way, it was maybe like a couple of little plays in elementary school, but it just so happened the typing class was full in moving to my junior year of high school and getting elective, and so what was left? Drama. Oh, okay. And that was how it happened. But a lot of times, aside from that, especially where I'm at, it was kind of economically not very diverse. So there weren't a whole lot of avenues for young people to go, except maybe school, if you were lucky to get into a drama class, to go and really fulfill.
And now
even getting to start to showcase your performance and learn the techniques.
And now with the arts not in the school as strong as they used to be, where kids could test drive music, test drive theater, they're not really getting a chance to do all of those things. And the idea that in our community here in the Santa Clarita Valley, I think our students and our not just young people, but even as adults who want to get into acting. Again, we're so close to Hollywood. It's kind of the thing that people do. And sometimes finding a class, is one of those situations where do we go? And we happen to have a guest with us today who's offering free acting class. We have Paul Aninos with us. Hello and welcome to the Friday Matinee.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here.
Now, Paul...
They're all clapping behind the door.
Yes, they are. We love them for that. Your acting classes, these are starting October 29th, so people have some time. Put this on the calendar. Will it be this particular Thursday, October 29th, 6:30 to 8:30? Is this going to be an ongoing class? Tell me a little bit about what you've got going.
Well, it's this is a start. I don't know that it will be ongoing. We'll see how it works out, and this is just a beginning for me. And if it's something that the community seems to like and people are getting something out of, I would certainly be open to doing more of them. Absolutely.
Okay, and the classes, what you're going to be looking for is Back to One Acting, and it's going to be taking place at the Valencia Public Library on Thursday, October 29th. We're going to tell you all the ways to get more information, how to sign up, how to call or email Paul. But how did acting come to some of us were kind of born in an area where it was the thing, and like with George, came to it through school. How did acting come into your life?
Well, I think really for me I didn't even become aware of acting as an option for me until I'd gotten into college. I knew as a kid that I always loved whenever we would play, we would always reenact scenes from movies. And it's now looking back on it, it seems strange that it didn't occur to me that acting would be something for me.
That really is what acting is.
Well, it's organic, and you were just doing it. And, I said something earlier about, trying to act like I really like Mondays now. I do love Mondays, but some days I'm actually acting. Acting is not just something that someone should do, in my estimation, to be the next big thing, be the next big television star, be the next soap opera. Sometimes, in the best of situations, acting is needed in in all facets of life, and also a really wonderful way to get a little self-expression to where it makes communication easier. It makes dealing with other situations that might be uncomfortable. So when you decided, more or less as an adult, to get involved with acting, did you have an end goal? What did it mean to you, or what is the study of the craft? What is acting to you now that you're older?
Well, now that I'm older and having had I think I went through a period where I was saying, okay, because mom and dad were standing over the shoulder saying, well, we're a little uneasy with this. They didn't come from that kind of background. And, they like going to movies. They like actors. But this was not something that they were very much interested in and very concerned about for me as a profession. So they were very much concerned about that. And so I think I was influenced by those concerns. And so for me, it was, at least at the outset, it was, okay, I have to figure out how to leverage this training and this experience to get a job. And nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's what people want to do with their lives. But now that I am older and have had the pleasure of experiencing stage, and then for me personally, I like stage over film.
That would be my next question, because we've talked about that, George.
Oh, yeah.
What is the stage is nice, and you prefer stage, don't you? Because you like the audience interaction.
I get bored sitting around a film set, and so the fact that there's such a spontaneity to it, I call it rehearsed spontaneity, and that you have to be on your toes for anything to happen. Film is fine, but it really is like, okay, this is the 17th time we've done this line, and then we're going to switch camera positions to do it all over again. It gets
and
kind
the
of
lighting's
dull.
bad, and we have to
It's
do
kind of
this. We have to
dull,
revisit it
so
tomorrow.
Stage is it's really like you got to be on your toes.
Yeah.
So it's the same
It
thing.
is. It's like a sport. Acting becomes, I think, more of a sport when you're on stage, and I think that's why a lot of actors like to return to stage who are in film. You'll often read, "Oh, yes, I did such and such a television series, and now I'm going to return to the boards." And it is. It's like it's an athletic event.
Well, we're speaking with Paul Aninos, who is going to be providing an acting class for free Thursday, October 29th at the Valencia Public Library. In the evening, we'll have more information on that coming up, so you have to wait. But Paul, tell me about this. So as college, it kind of struck you. What was it? Now, did you start taking acting classes? Did you start focusing on getting an agent? Did you call central casting? What was your next move once you made that determination?
For me, it was, I didn't really feel like I had the confidence to go out and do it, to get an agent. For me, it had to start with the training. I sort of had to feel like I had to empower myself with the training. So at that point, that's when I went out. I graduated from college with a degree in English, and then proceeded to go to the American Academy of Dramatic Arts for 2 years.
This is a good trajectory, because English it dovetails nicely into the acting. So then the Academy of Dramatic Arts.
Correct. And then studied independently. At that point, once I had graduated from the academy, I sort of felt like I had the foundation to be able to start doing things on my own. So as I started going out and being a part of independent films and being a part of stage productions, I went on to independently study under Mr. Tom Todoroff, and then a year later studying under Mr. Mike Pointer independently. So, and for me, it's going back to the stage versus film. For me, it's about the energy of working with people. And my favorite kinds of plays are ensemble plays. I love being on stage with a group of people and feeling that energy. And I just never got that from being in films. So for me, that's where it's at. That's where the juice is at.
I think it's nice, too, that your motivation, it seems that since you didn't have that support when you were younger to do something that you really liked and had a passion for, and clearly some capability, because you've done a lot of work, and now you want to give back. Does that drive you a little bit, knowing that you're going to be that person to support other people in their dreams, their visions, and bring what your knowledge is, your experience to this acting class, and the idea that you're giving it free? That's very charitable. And what drives that bus for you?
Well, I kind of got to a place in my life where things had gotten really stale. I'd gone in, I continue to have a 9-to-5 job. I do that, and I'm not fulfilled by it. So I'm looking now to return to sort of my roots, my love, and find a way to give that back to people. And actually, I've been working with my life coach, Mr. Alex Urbina, and we have been, we've sort of, over the time that we've spent working together, we have come up with this as a way to do that.
I think this is really nice, and again, it's something that you have a very strong foundation in, and the idea that you have this very strong passion now to bring this. I think people are going to have a wonderful experience coming in to your acting class. Again, we're talking with Paul Aninos. This is a free acting class he's offering to the community, ages 16 to 23, beginner to advanced. It's a chance for really young people to test drive something to really determine if they want to do this. I mean, like you talked about, George, there was a time when you could sign up for drama class, you could audition for the school play, and that's kind of limited for a lot of young people. Okay, I didn't get the school play, or I didn't think in time to audition. Here's an opportunity to go to a free acting class and test your chops, test the waters. And again, it's free. There's no commitment. It's not like George and I can tell you from experience, there are a lot of acting classes in Los Angeles. Yes. And you can go and you can audit them, and you have to make a commitment to an extended period of time. So this is delicious that you're giving some young people, that gift. It is a gift.
And absolutely, yeah. I mean, there's no further commitment beyond the class. You don't have to buy into a multi-level marketing scheme or anything like that. It's just what it is.
Get your kids' pictures. Get your kids.
Exactly.
But are you going to be offering something subsequent to this, though? Will you be offering regular acting classes for those who want to continue on, or is this to test the waters?
This is certainly a testing of the waters. For me, the experience of doing this has already begun.
Awesome.
Obviously, developing this flyer, developing a website for it, going out and promoting it. So that too is a part of the experience, and that's actually the part of the experience that has been a little bit of a surprise to me. It's a lot of work.
It's a lot
of work to get things going and get it out there. So certainly, if I have any pause. It makes me pause about considering more and keep going with it. It's that piece of it.
Having the organization and making sure that you got people who want to come.
Right. Just the piece of being and teaching and sharing and provide and giving to the community for free is, for me, this is a no-brainer.
And I think that's great, giving back. And what's important too is, there are plays you can go and audition for, but if you don't have the chops, you really feel it. Especially, first of all, even if I walk into a place where I don't know anybody, and even with my experience to go and audition, you have other people who are kind of grouped together. You feel a little bit intimidated. But if you go into some of these, like we have open casting calls, Kennedy Theater Guild down the street and other places here in town. But if you go in without any experience, and I've seen that and sat in where people said, I've never done this before in my life. And even when they're reading the script and they accidentally, they don't know that you don't read the character's name when you're reading the line.
Or the
stuff
direction.
like that. And you're still trying to be really supportive, but that's really intimidating for people. So to give them the opportunity to at least get some experience in front of other people, build that confidence, I think it's really important.
It's a real gift that you're giving to the community, Paul, so we're very grateful. If you would like to learn more, you can go to Facebook, and all you have to look for is Back to One, the numbers, acting. Again, facebook.com/Back to One acting. You can also email Paul at Paul_Aninos, which is spelled ANNINOS @hotmail.com. You can call Paul at 818. Oh, I like the sound of that. Call Paul, 818-209-0753, 209-0753. That's an 818 area code. This is taking place Thursday, October 29th. 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. Open to ages 16 to 23, beginner to advanced. Come get your feet wet and try that at the Valencia Library.
Valencia and Magic Mountain. So let's talk about this. So once you got all of your cred, your chops down, you got your training. Did you do film? You mentioned that, but were you making a career out of it, or was it kind of like when jobs came up, you got them, or how did you get started once that was done?
Well, I always was working towards the idea of making this a career, if I could. And like so many actors, they have to have day jobs in order to survive. So I was working that route, and that, acting, being a professional actor is a lifestyle. It's not a job choice.
That's
right?
true.
It is a lifestyle.
It's a business. It's a
and
lifestyle.
It's a business,
There's a whole lot into it.
there's a whole lot that goes into that. Oh, Paul, tell us a little bit about what people can expect from the night at the acting class.
Well, we really want to focus during that experience. We're going to look at script analysis and doing cold reading. I will bring some scenes into that workshop, and people will have a chance to do cold reading, and we will look at ways to approach that when we talk about having chops. I think people sort of say, well, I don't have any chops. I don't have any natural talent for this. But it's not necessarily confined to that. I mean, you can approach acting, and there's a methodology, and there are actually many methodologies out there. I'm sure you're both aware for approaching acting. And so I certainly have my experience, my set of methodology, and that's sort of what I want to bring to this class, and hopefully empower people to say, you know what, this isn't necessarily rocket science. There is a way into this. There is a way to approach this. So if you are going to go to that, that audition or that, for a play or for a reading, you have a method to go in and approach it. So that's what we want to do.
And building a little bit of
class.
confidence and getting
That's
out in
nice.
front of people.
That's
Yeah,
nice.
have a structure to approach it.
Exactly. That is outstanding. Back to one, by the way, is usually a term in film where they did the scene, they shot it, they're going to do it again. Back to one. In other words, back to your first position.
Back to your spots.
And you are ready to go again. So there's your little tidbit. I didn't mean to give away too much of
Spoiler.
the class there, Paul. But this is really good. So from here, like we said, we're seeing how it's going to go from here. Do you think that maybe you'll offer, depending upon its success, you might be able to do some more, or find a space to start doing it on a regular basis? Is that kind of a goal of yours, maybe out of this, or is it still just you're not sure yet?
I foresee that as being a definite yes. That's something I would love to do. Once again, it's going to be about the interest, the level of interest, and if we can get people to sign on board and be a part of it.
And I think it's really good.
Yeah,
and we have I always say the arts are the best kept secret here in Santa Clarita. We have a lot of actors, we have a lot of performers, and even, like I said, venues where they can express their talent. But again, getting to that first step, getting the confidence to get the audition. So
and having this opportunity to try something that they might not have had the opportunity to anywhere else, maybe for scheduling or family or whatever it was that prevented that. This is a great opportunity. 2 hours to come in and get an awful lot of information for free.
Yeah,
So
and that's important. And so if you're thinking about it, you ever thought, I wonder if I'm any good at this? Watching people on TV or the movies, I can do that, but you've never really gotten out. This is a
chance.
great opportunity. Again, it's a free acting class run by Paul Aninos, very well-trained actor and a very friendly person as well. This will be at the Valencia Public Library Thursday, October 29th. Mark your calendars now, 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. You can learn more by going to facebook.com/back21, the numbers 21, back21 acting. And that's a good place to start. And do you need to RSVP or anything, or just show up?
They can show up. We'll take all comers, but certainly if we would prefer people call in and
sure, you have a head count. You know how many sheets to have. That kind of thing. You can be prepared.
Phone number 818-209-0753. Paul_Aninos, ANNINOS @hotmail.com. And again, you could probably also contact him through Facebook as well. So it's a good idea if you think, or if they have questions for you as well. What can I expect?
You can ask some things beforehand, because it's you have until October 29th to make sure this is on your calendar. Again, it's at the Valencia Public Library Thursday, October 29th, 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m.
As supporters of the arts here in the Santa Clarita Valley, I think this is an absolutely awesome thing you're doing, where you're giving back the opportunity to give people that spark that kind of we've all had or have and continue to have. And also, again, fulfilling your creativity as well. So it's a win-win for everybody. Paul Aninos, thank you very much for stopping in. This is
Absolutely.
a great opportunity. I'm sure that we'll have the opportunity to talk about it more down the road before this comes up. But also, don't forget, facebook.com/back21 acting. The numbers 21 is in back 21 acting. 818-209-0753. We will be back with more Friday Matinee right after this. Is your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS.